The most important thing to understand is that our life is only in our hands, and we already have everything we need. Every human being on this planet is the most powerful, most advanced, and the most modern creation there could possibly be. The only problem is that we don't know ourselves. We lack the right knowledge. It is like having a Ferrari in a garage, but not knowing how to drive it. You can learn everything on your own, but it will take more time and energy than going to a driving school or hiring a private instructor. That's why I want to start with the basics, so you have an image of yourself and how everything works. Okay, without any further ado, let's begin. The first thing to know is that we all have conscious mind and subconscious minds. Whether we like it or not, our ability to control thoughts, synchronize movements, or experience emotions depends on our information processing. And the way we process information depends on our previous experiences. So, what is it, a conscious mind? The conscious mind includes all of the things that you are currently aware of and thinking about. It is a short-term memory, and it's limited in its capacity. Your awareness of yourself and the world around you are part of your consciousness. Conscious defines all thoughts and actions within our awareness. So another way to describe a conscious mind would be it is what you hear, see, touch, smell, and think. Now, subconscious is the part of your mind that notices and remembers information when you are not actively trying to do so. It influences your behavior even though you don't realize it. Subconscious defines all reactions and automatic actions we can become aware of if we think about them. Subconscious is a long-term memory, and it stores memory of everything that has ever happened to you. All situations you think you forgot are still there in your subconscious mind. And you can remember them if you want to. For example, do you remember when you tried to ride a bicycle for the first time? Most likely the first attempt to synchronize a new set of complex actions was difficult. Once you become more skilled, this movement started to require less conscious awareness until everything began to flow naturally and you started riding a bike automatically. You don't think how to walk or how to hold a pen. All those actions are completely automated, and they are stored in your subconscious mind. To better understand how it works, we need to understand how our brain operates. First of all, we need to remember that our brain is always active and constantly works, even when we are asleep. There are different stages of our brain activity. There is a machine called electroencephalogram to measure brain waves. That machine detects electrical waves activity in the brain using small metal discs attached to the scalp. Our brain cells communicate via electrical impulses and are active all the time, even when we are asleep. This activity shows up as wavy lines on electroencephalogram recording. Brain waves are electrical impulses in the brain. An individual's behavior, emotions, and thoughts are communicated between neurons within our brains. All brain waves are produced by synchronized electrical pulses from masses of neurons communicating with each other. Our brain waves occur at various frequencies. Some are fast and some are slow. The classic names of these waves are delta, theta, alpha, beta and gamma waves. They are measured in cycles per second, or hertz. Thousands of people were attached to this machine to see their brain activities during the day and during their lifetime. Let's look at each of the different brainwave cycles to know how they work. We're going to begin from the beginning. Ages from 0 to 7 are our programming years. During these years, children spend most of their time in alpha, theta, and delta brainwave cycles, which is the same state that a person is in when they are in hypnosis or meditation. So you may want to imagine little children walking around in a permanent state of hypnosis, being programmed by the environment, open to suggestion in a super learning state. The first wave is delta. Delta waves are active during the time from birth to 2 years old. The human brain functions primarily in the lowest brainwave cycle, that is 0.5 to 4 cycles per second. An adult's brain in deep sleep operates on delta waves as well. And this explains why a newborn usually can't remain awake for more than a few minutes at a time. Even at the age of 1, when kids stay awake for a longer time, they still function primarily on their subconscious mind. At this level, there is a very little critical thinking or judgment taking place. You may have heard of some people who are able to have operations with no pain relief. They feel no pain. They are on delta waves. Also, while being in a womb, a baby is receiving programming in this state. These are the years when we take on beliefs about ourselves and life. And many of these remain unconscious throughout the rest of our lives. They show up in our behavior, achievements, goals, how we choose our friends, our life partners, and so on. If you think about it, every belief that you have has been put there or suggested by somebody else. The next wave is theta. Theta wave frequencies are measured 4 to 8 cycles per second and are predominant in children who are between 2 to 6 years old. Children operating in theta are very connected to their internal world. They live in the realm of imagination, daydreaming, and still not able to show a signs of critical, rational thinking. This is a super learning state, where the child is open to any suggestions. Children at this age are likely to accept what you tell them as an absolute truth. Alpha. Alpha between ages 6 to 8. The brain waves change into alpha frequency, which are 8 to 13 cycles per second. This is the point when the analytical mind begins to form. Children start interpret and draw conclusions from their environment. Still, the inner world of imagination tends to be as real as the outer world of reality. Children at this age have a foot in both worlds, using both left and right brain hemispheres at the same time. People who meditate or who are in a light trance are in this frequency, which is peaceful and relaxed. At this state of being, it is common to come up with powerful ideas, inspiration, and insights. This is a great state to be in when brainstorming, creating ideas, or learning. Schools, by the way, should take note. Kids learn when they are relaxed and having fun, not when they are stressed out. The next wave is beta. From ages 8 to 12 and further, brain activity increases to anything above 13 cycles per second. This is the world of conscious and analytical thinking. The mind is aware, focused, alert, and is capable of logical thinking. Adults spend most of their time in this cycle. So, as you can see from the above, a crucial time in helping children install different beliefs about themselves and the world around is between the ages 0 to 6. What would we like them to believe about themselves and life in general? This is the time to install positive messages because they will be accepted as true by them. Comments like, "Your sister is smarter than you," "You are so clumsy," "Big boys don't cry," will have a huge impact on future life. And the biggest limiting beliefs that stop people from achieving desired results are, "I'm not good enough," "I don't deserve it," "I'm worthless." These beliefs have been installed typically between the ages 0 to 6, and in most cases unintentionally by parents. So with that being said, we can see how people are getting programmed from an early age. We absorb as a sponge everything that is around us. And with constant repetition, these phrases we hear about ourselves and life become our beliefs. Adults' brainwave activity during the day also changes. If you are more than 12 years old and you are watching this video, then your brainwave is in beta state. If you start solving an issue right now or really concentrate on this video, your brainwave activity will increase to a gamma state. Right before you go to sleep and when you just woke up, your brain is in alpha state. When you are falling asleep and in a light sleep, your brain switches to Theta. And when you are in deep sleep, your brain transitions to delta waves. Use this knowledge tonight in the practice. Everyone wants to wake up in a good mood, because the mood we have in the morning is usually the mood we will have during the day. Every morning starts from the night before, and the thoughts we fall asleep with are the thoughts we wake up with. If you are watching the news in your bed, when your brain is in alpha state, and those news are not positive, like most of the time they are, and you fall asleep like that, you will wake up with those bad news in your head. So tonight, you will perform your first practice. That will make you wake up tomorrow without an alarm and in a good mood. Here's what you should do. At least 30 minutes before bedtime, preferably 1 hour, do not watch TV. I'm going to repeat that. Do not watch TV or sit on your phone. When you go to bed, remember that you are in alpha state right now, and start programming yourself for tomorrow's day. It doesn't matter what time you are going to bed and how many hours you have to sleep. The only thing that matters are the thoughts you're falling asleep with. If you are thinking, "Oh my gosh, it's 12 o'clock in the morning and I have to wake up at 6 o'clock. I will not have enough sleep and I will wake up broken," that is what will happen. For example, you are going to sleep at 12 o'clock in the morning and you have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Right before you fall asleep, repeat to yourself at least 20 times a following phrase: "I will wake up tomorrow in a good mood and fully awake because 6 hours of sleep is more than enough for me to have a good and healthy sleep. If you fall asleep with that phrase from alpha state transitioning to theta state, you will wake up as you wished. You can try as a test programming yourself to wake up 5 to 10 minutes earlier than your alarm clock and see the results. So in that case, the phrase will be, I will wake up tomorrow at 5:50 a.m. in a good mood and fully awake, because 5 hours and 15 minutes of sleep is more than enough for me to have a good and healthy sleep. This is just a small example for you to see how you can program yourself. So from today's video, you've learned that during the day, our brain has different phases and waves it functions on. You've also learned how and when to program yourself to wake up every day in a good mood and full of energy. Remember that a belief starts from a thought. A belief is simply a thought that you keep thinking and thinking and thinking. Eventually, what the thinker thinks, the prover proves. Which means you will see evidence all around you to prove to yourself that your belief is true as it's showing up in your reality. As an adult, look at what your beliefs you may have of yourself. As a child, you had to think something in order to experience yourself. You could have thought anything, and what you settled on, you began actually experiencing as truth. But it's just a story you have told yourself. It's not true until you made it so.